ChairShot Podcast back on our, somewhat semi-regular Monday evening slot. I'm one of your hosts, Barry, joined as always by ever dependable co-hosts. First of all, there's Paul.
Hello.
And we're also here with Joe.
Hola, mi nombre es Tony.
We're actually going to do the entire show like that.
Bienvenidos.
I'm going to do it in French, actually, because that's my... We're going to really broaden out, We got a loaded show this week, let me tell you, folks. We do, of course, have AEW Grand Slam Mexico from Arena Mexico to run down later on in the show. We got a feature, we got a Fantasy League update, we got a whole bunch of movies and TV shows and games and stuff we're going to chat about. I do want to make mention of the fact that not anymore today, but it was disgustingly hot here in Ireland. I mean, it's an Irish and English co-production, so we do have to start off with weather small talk. I think that's like mandatory.
Yeah.
27 degrees it peaked at here earlier in the week, and I'm doing less of this lately, but I was full on in fucking fuck summer, fuck the sun, get the fuck out of here mode during the week and all that, because that's too much, isn't it? That's too much. Now I agree, global warming is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time out in it though, so I didn't mind it.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the barbecue weather, and
honestly, being out in it would make me hate it more. I was somewhat grateful that I was inside.
I also did like a 20-kilometer walk in it, so I was
Jesus Christ, sadist.
That's
because
this weather power.
Me and Joe see a bit of nice weather outside, and we're slamming the forearm like the Rock, feeling the man.
Oh, I'm feeling the walkies. Let's get the
Dwayne the Walk Johnson.
Oh yeah, I mean, he should bust that name out if they make Walking Tall 2. Wait, they did make Walking Tall 2 actually without him.
That's probably shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Sorbo in it. I'm fairly sure. So
Kevin Hart.
Now I need
Walking shot. Yeah,
there we go.
Now we're cooking.
Let me take a look here. Wait, okay, so there was a Walking Tall 2 in 1975, the original Walking Tall. Walking Tall: The Payback is a 2007 direct-to-video standalone sequel starring Kevin Sorbo, and he was the biggest name attached to it.
Wasn't the plot of Walking Tall Payback? Isn't that the point of the film, Walking Tall?
Yeah, but I guess they're really doubling down and reiterating. The fellow who directed this does not have a Wikipedia page.
Stamp of quality.
Anyway, we got more important things to talk about than that. I got a bevy of wrestling stuff to chat about before we jump into our various features. And we've made mention of the weather. That's it. That was the main thing. Just to complain about the weather and say it's annoying. I suppose late developing news here on the pod after our big discussion about it last week, fellas. I think CM Punk may have called in a couple of favors with the White House to avoid going to Saudi Arabia.
How low will he stoop?
Does the man know depths? But it does seem like, while not formally cancelled yet, this referring to the Crown Jewel show. Oh no, sorry, Night of Champions is what it's called, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It seems like, given recent events, what was that thing? What was the term everyone used during COVID? What was the term everyone was using about? Because if you wanted to put out a press release referring to COVID but not saying COVID, was it unprecedented times or whatever?
Yeah.
Or fucking
now more than ever.
Now more than ever. It's like, well, now more than ever, we are absolutely not going to the UAE or Saudi Arabia. It seems like what with World War III and that they might not do the wrestling there in next week, I believe it is.
It's not even that close, is it? It's not.
Yeah, but I think the airspace is being shut down. That's what that's.
Well, they not got a boat.
No, yeah, and Americans don't like trains either, so they can't catch the old Connecticut to Riyadh
to Saudi Arabia
metro.
Pathetic.
Yeah. I hope they go to him and they say, listen, you know what would really ease tensions, roster, including you, Phil. You listen, Phil, look up from your phone there, mate. We really love if you could all go out there and just tweet about how much you bloody love Saudi Arabia. That would really ease tensions in the region if you could just go on there and just say how much you love it.
When you're wrestling Cena in the main event of the Performance Center pay-per-view we're putting on, throw on the old green tights with white stars if you don't mind that.
Yeah, so that's ongoing, to say the least. So that's that.
I predicted today that they'll just do it from like the Performance Center or the UFC Apex.
Yeah, they will do the show. I'm certain of that. Or they could.
Would they have time? If they need to make a decision now. Is ultimately the long and short of it. Or maybe they already have. Would they have time to book a proper venue and sell tickets? Like the show is this Saturday, so it would be very last.
Almost certainly not. I would say it's a case of either do it from the Performance Center, and look, you could do it at the Performance Center and very quickly you could probably sell a couple of hundred tickets on a couple of days' notice for CM Punk, John Cena in Florida. You probably could. They could do it at the Performance Center with a crowd. What's that hideous building they do NXT from? Is that the Performance Center? That absolutely visual eyesore with all the annoying people in it. I mean, they could do it there.
Is the ECW arena available, lads?
They're running it. They are running it about a week before the AEW residency. Can I shock you with that information?
Wow.
So they are aware of that building and they are running it soon. Yeah. And also, if they have a house show this week, they could also just do the match there, tape it and air it.
Well, SmackDown was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia as well this week. Which is why I'm thinking they need a venue for 2 nights.
Oh shit! Yes, okay. Wow.
So that's why I'm thinking. Look, they do UFC shows. Legit UFC shows in front of no crowd in the Apex. Yeah. So I'm sure they will, be a bit peeved by the John Cena CM Punk match they will essentially be throwing away. But at the end of the day, for the Netflix bucks or the Peacock bucks, globally speaking, the show must go on.
Exactly. Much like second COVID reference within 5 minutes. I mean, they quite literally, both companies quite literally had to put something on in those slots lest their lifeblood money be on the bubble. So yeah, I would imagine Netflix will require a show. Who cares where it is? There has to be a show in that slot.
AEW should run a show in Jeddah.
Counter program.
It's like, well, I think the fucking WWE don't want to go.
Sorry, that'd be great.
Tony Khan on the Cannes yacht.
They
doing Instagram lives with all the AW lads on the way.
Just like Persian Gulf.
Just like when he asked for Yokozuna, the royalty in KSA are going to Tony Khan. They're saying, could you could you get us Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison and Julia Hart?
Can we get Joey Janela?
Run back that Joey Janela Kenny Omega match. That was the business. Tony, great chatting to me. Can't wait for the show. You couldn't get a CM Punk, could you? That was really his stuff with MJF. That was the business.
That would be a like for like replacement. We don't know. We don't know who Swerve Strickland is, by the way.
Yeah. You were really cooking with that stuff. But yeah. So there you go.
It is kind of a perfect storm, though, isn't it? The whole CM Punk, turnabout and he's going Saudi Arabia and we talked last week about the tweets and all that for nothing potentially, which
I
even funnier.
I can't wait for him to leak to some fucking media pal that when the show's formally cancelled, well, actually the payoff to the angle was going to be that I actually wasn't going to be there. I actually wasn't going to go. But anyway. Elsewhere in Cena CM Punk land, we did have the Cena promo this week, which I still haven't bothered watching. I mean, most people
I've watched it.
Yeah, what was your take on? Most people I trust did not really take very much from it. Obviously, it was a very it got its buzz. Do you know what I mean? So it accomplished its goal, but it seems like in terms of recapturing the moment that was the CM Punk thing a couple of years ago, it doesn't seem like it hit. But what did you think?
No, it didn't. It was a good promo, but a pipe bomb it was not. I mean, pipe bomb has become common parlance for shoot or work shoot promo, right?
Mm-hmm.
While this was a good promo, I didn't feel like there was a lot about it that came off as a work shoot. Cena did mention Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Cardona, which, I mean, come on, like are the softest of and safest of safest even of shoot call-outs, right?
In what context was he mentioning them?
I guess the context was that he Punk would come off as a proponent for these people, but actually kind of step on their neck and get himself
right. Have you? You'll love this, Joe. Paul, have you seen the theory as to what the significance of those names was?
I did, and it was very funny.
This is so funny, and plus, I believe this did come from media. What has been known to liaise with CM Punk. So there's a very good chance this is real, and it was Punk's idea. Well, you see, Joe, because the names he threw out were Matt, Nick
Nemeth,
and CC, Claudio Castagnoli, or is CC Waylon Smithers? No, it's Maggie Simpson, or is it actually Colt Cabana, CC? So it was lore. It was Tommy End, Bray Wyatt, fucking watch the promo backwards, and it actually means something else. Lore.
CC. It could be like CC, like copying in because they work in the office.
Joe, your Blackpool Combat Club, BCC.
Oh my gosh!
It's just William Regal saying for my last email.
I'm gonna have to do a 3-hour YouTube video breaking this down.
I mean, apart from that, the promo was kind of a very typical Cena promo, I would say. He did say bullshitter, which, oh my God, Cena said a bad word. Oh shit! And then while on Collision, Tony Storm throws out motherfucker like it's nothing.
John Cena's dipping his toe in all these swears, and then every week Tony Storm is like, I was rubbing my face in between some tits for a laugh. You bitch.
Which, by the way, Tony Storm's promo on Collision, my promo of the week for sure.
Oh, it was great.
But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. The Cena thing felt to me also like a missed opportunity, where I know they don't mention AEW, but I do feel like to their own detriment, like AEW coming off the Mexico show was hot on the internet, right? All the talk was about this great show out of Mexico. Hangman did the promo in Spanish. It was such a respectful love letter to Lucha Libre. Swerve talking about how we're coming into your house as your guests. We're not trying to take you over, blah, blah, blah. If Cena had just said something like, rather than saying Claudio and Matt Cardona, if he had mentioned like Hangman Page or Jack Perry or something, the internet would have gone on fire. And all the talk would have been Cena's promo. Did you hear what John Cena said?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Cena actually went there. This is actually like
Cena's going to show up at Forbidden Door.
It would have had.
He could have said Forbidden Door. That would have been a thing.
But it would have had the feeling of the original Fight Back. That feeling of a little bit of danger, a little bit of
naughtiness,
a little bit of naughtiness, and a little bit of, we know this is like pre-approved or whatever, but they're drawing outside the lines a little bit here, But it had none of that. It felt totally safe and totally, See, one other thing that he did, which I thought was very funny, was he would go, "Oh my God, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I'm being all crazy." CM Punk, the thing that you are is a jealous man. And he would switch back and forth between, I'm wacky doing a shoot, but then I'd go back to like his heel persona. So it would undercut itself by his delivery alone. So, like I said, I feel like WWE's aversion to even mentioning anything that's happening, in this case, undercut themselves, because it felt like such an opportunity to do something that would have got only them all the news and all the attention, and oh my God, what a daring, amazing, crazy promo. And instead, really only the WWE diehards were coming away going, oh my God, John Cena went there. And everyone else was just kind of shrugging and going, well, what?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah. Just too cowardly. And I think, unless it's through a veiled little fake reference, I think Punk doesn't want to he doesn't want to actually put his chest out and say the names and have a Colt Cabana. He doesn't want it enough. You know, he doesn't want it.
That is true of modern CM Punk, right? That's something Cena talked about in the promo, albeit in a safe, approved way. Is what is CM? We've made the point. What is CM Punk in 2025 as relates to how he was in the late 2000s, early 2010s? You know, he was this rebel character, anti-authority in a very real sense, as we learned in 2014. But now he, like Cena said, you're Mr. TKO. Like he's showing up in his little suit, signings, and like that guy from the, for better or worse, that guy from the early 2010s is no more. You know.
Yeah, it's I mean, but it's also a bit odd that it's like that stuff's like really true and kind of interesting. It's kind of weird that having Cena say it, but you know. Anyway, elsewhere in WWE news, they had the Liv Morgan injury this week,
which was very unfortunate for them.
And it was one of those kind of horrible ones where it was like it was not on a big obvious move. Do you know what I mean? What was she getting out of the ring or something? Wasn't
no, she was just taking like. It wasn't quite like a drop toe hold, but it was that kind of move. Yeah. And she just took a face bump, dislocated her shoulder. It was kind of the Adam Cole jumping off the ramp.
Off the teeny little ramp,
type thing where it's just so innocuous, but sometimes that's where the damage gets. Or Cena taking a hip toss.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Those are some of the nastiest ones, yeah. So that was unfortunate. So
right before Evolution, where she was scheduled to be like the centerpiece of it.
Yeah, and like that shows such a long time coming as well. But yeah, that's unfortunate for her. So she's out for an undisclosed amount of time.
Yeah, I've seen 6 months.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, a dislocated. She's going to need surgery on it, so it's no little thing, you know. I mean, look. One thing I wanted to mention: we don't talk often about WWE. And the fact that they're doing this Evolution pay-per-view is a bit weird because, you know, the first one came at a time where kind of the women were on the come up. I don't want to say it felt a little bit like a token gesture, right? But like on your typical shows these days, this across WWE and AEW, like you can argue that some of the women are the biggest stars in the company. You mentioned Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, we just talked about. Like, to me, they are on level pegging with the Cody Rhodes, the Hangman Pages. You know, like, to me, we're at a stage now, which we weren't whenever the first Evolution aired, where the women are legitimately getting to that top level where they are as big stars as the men. So, like, in terms of, you know, equality, we're very nearly there, I feel like. Granted, the main shows still don't quite give the women the time as the men. But nevertheless, the women, personality-wise, are in many cases eclipsing the men. And so, to do another all-women pay-per-view, I don't know if that feels like a stopgap or a band-aid over the real problem, which is, and WWE, to be fair to them, NXT especially, women all over the show.
All over the show.
AEW could definitely improve. Collision actually had quite a few this week, quite a few matches. But, you know, AEW could definitely improve in that respect. But, it just feels a bit weird to have, we're doing an all-women pay-per-view. Okay, but, like, why don't you just kind of even up your typical pay-per-views rather than throw them a bone every 7 years, you know?
It's a bit strange.
Yeah, the timing of it's very after all these years of people asking for it as well. But
it's like there was some show that they wanted to just throw something at to like block attention from. But you know,
interesting,
weird that.
Yeah. We do on a completely unrelated note. Just have some additional info for All In. In Texas on the July 12th. They have added their signature casino gauntlet.
Here we go.
To All In, which, I mean, the last couple of these have been winners.
And you have like two people hopefully ready to return. I think we might have talked about last week, or maybe it was someone I was talking to in the week, talking about whether that main event is going to have like an Avengers Endgame style moment of all these people returning. But I assume that if they're doing a casino gauntlet, that's maybe where you're going to have Gabe Kidd come out as a surprise, and then maybe that's where Eddie Kingston will finally return.
Yeah.
Darby's back from that mountain, so I expect to see Darby make an appearance either in this match or
I think in the main event.
The main.
I would go main event for Darby. And then
I guess it comes down to whether you want to give Hangman, the win without like WrestleMania 40ing it with like 19 runnings at the end. As fun as that would be.
I think that's been such a part of it. Like Ospreay saying, "Oh, we've got your back," and all this kind of like.
That's true.
You need to have a bit of them fighting off the
for Darby. Absolutely, that would make total sense. Kingston less so, to be fair.
Yeah, not Kingston.
Swerve especially. Swerve, Darby,
Danielson.
Yeah.
They come out, they fight off the BCC or the Death Riders, and then Hangman wins on his own.
And then Undertaker for some reason.
Then Undertaker comes in for the choice.
In his pajamas. Yeah.
No, you have Sting come out wearing his pajamas, looking like a sack of shit. No, Sting would never do that.
Sting respects the business, and he
actually respects the business.
He's just too cool. He's just too fucking cool.
Great.
He wouldn't lower himself to look like just earlier in the show he was setting up the speakers.
What a missed opportunity it was for that Undertaker Kenny Omega tag team, by the way. The slobs, the new slobs.
Dearie me. So that's that is set for All In. Maybe Sting could be in that match. Who knows? I did just see earlier today. I thought this was amusing. Did you see the clip of the contestant on Mastermind whose expert subject was Zack Sabre Jr.?
No, I have not seen
this.
It was pretty good, yeah. And they had questions about like in 2021 he won the Wrestling Observer News Editor's Bryan Danielson Award for what?
A technical wrestler.
A technical wrestler, yeah. She got pretty much everything. I think she missed one question, which was oh god, it was because the thing about Mastermind is because you see those clips every now and then where someone has a really wacky chosen subject and you watch the video, and I remember there was one doing the rounds a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you boys saw it, The Simpsons, the golden years of The Simpsons, and some of them were like they were all pretty gettable, and then one of them was like, "What's which number episode is this?" And it's like, well, that's really easy to get wrong. These ones were pretty tough. They were proper, into the weeds, like New Japan tournament wins, and I think she got one question wrong, and it was like Marty Skrull got a little shout out in it, which was funny. She goes it was like in 2016, Sabre Jr. defeated like Pentagon Jr., Marty Skrull, and I think Ricochet to win what tournament? And she said New Japan Cup. It was a Battle of Los Angeles, which is fair enough. That's a PWG thing from a decade ago, so she didn't get that. But she got all the other ones. It was funny. It's a fun little thing. I'll send it on to you afterwards, but she did quite well.
There was a Legend of Zelda one a little while ago as well.
Yeah.
And the questions were so fucking hard. What's the name of the shopkeeper in Ugla Town in Spirit Tracks? You're like, what?
Well, this is the thing. It's like I guess because they must have just like a phenomenal research team. They're not Googling Zack Sabre Jr. real name,
on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
10 Zack Sabre Jr. facts, please.
What does NJPW stand for? Okay. No, like there was a Last of Us one a couple of weeks ago as well, Paul. I watched that, and similarly, all tough enough but gettable. And then there was one that she didn't get, and I also didn't get. It was so insane. I mean, their team on that show just must go so in the weeds. It's very impressive. But I mean, not as impressive as our quizzes we do on this show, lads.
Oh hell yeah! Which we put hours and hours of just research time across the 15 years we've been doing it. We mean,
absolutely
1 hour. I think it is across 15 years to making those quizzes.
Before we get to our features for the week, any other life golf updates before we move on?
One kiss is all it takes. Possibilities. Yeah, Michelle and I went to we were back up Wembley Way on Saturday.
Ooh,
as we want to do, to see Dua Lipa in concert.
Oh, the lovely Dua Lipa.
Nice. So yeah, she was a bloody sellout, lads. I tell you what, no empty seats apart from the tarped off bit behind the stage.
Yeah.
lovely day for it. It was a bit warm, but we certainly enjoyed it. And I like Dua Lipa. She's had some bangers.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize how many until you
recognize every single song.
I know. I was like every song. I like this one. Oh yeah, I like this one. Oh, I like this one as well. It was just banger after banger. There's probably only three songs I didn't recognize on the whole set list. Really, really good. And she had a surprise guest. She brought out one Charlie XCX for us for a little duet of 360. So obviously we went nuts.
Tremendous.
Jesus, just casually dropping Sting into a random match. It was like fucking hell.
Showing off. So it was really good. It was really, really good. It wasn't the only other concert I've seen at Wembley was Taylor Swift, and that was a much bigger production.
Right.
I quite enjoyed this a bit more. It was a bit more like casual, a bit more like organic. It wasn't as tailored, but really good. And then we snuck out 2 songs from the end, raced it to the tube, beat all the little kids. Go away, the tube. And then the tube home was fucking boiling, absolutely sweltering for 45 minutes on the Jubilee line. But apart from that was the downside. But it was really, really good. Well done, Dua Lipa. Good lad, good lass.
With a lass.
Yeah. Well played.
Last album was great. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Her and Charlie is a hell of a. I mean, that's like Darby and Danielson returning on the one show. Like,
honestly, that's like Tony and Mercedes. Honestly, for me.
Is it feature time?
It can be. Obviously, we want to wish Barry happy birthday before we move on. We didn't do that yet.
Hey, happy birthday, Buzzman.
Thanks, Vince.
The buzzer.
Big B.
Big 3 something.
Yeah, you're reaching that age where nobody asks you what your age is, but whenever it comes up, I have to go, hang on. 2025 means 19. It just doesn't help because I'm 88, which is a really awkward one as well because right before the 0 means that I am 36. And that took me about 30 seconds to work out. So welcome to those years, Barry.
Now I'm wide deep in there. I think
super inconvenient.
I'm trying to think when was the last year I was really tracking that. So I feel like your mid-20s, you're still kind of in, because it's still me. Yeah. You got your milestones, 21, all this stuff. You're finishing college. You're starting. It's and then by the mid late 20s, like yes. Thank you very much, gents. No better place to spend it than here on the ChairShot Podcast in the studio. Boy, the lads.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We do have some features for the lads here.
Got some features brought to you in association with Podcastle AI, all-in-one podcasting platform.
It is, which we've re-upped for another year, folks. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere.
We signed on the dotted line.
Yeah. I came out, Christian Cage's music played, and I came out with my out podcast everyone shirt on. Shivani was loving it. Re-upped for another year, so don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We do have some fantasy league decisions to make here.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Just because of where everything falls this year, you might recall July is our transfer window.
Yes.
Each of us gets 2 extra free transfers, which can only be made in July. So, just want to clarify some rules about that, right? So, if we were to podcast next Sunday or Monday, whatever way the chips fall, Sunday is 29th of June. I would suggest that the transfer window would open next Sunday. Okay? Because, all in then is Saturday the 12th. That would only give us 1 podcast before, like from the window opening to all in, of course, with triple points. So I would suggest that we would do it from 29th. I would also say, in the event where 2 people want the same wrestler, that there has to be some agreement first and foremost. If there's an agreement, there would be no need for like a tiebreaker thing. But I would suggest that it would have to go to some sort of coin flip or something.
Coin flip
by the impartial, if there is an impartial party involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use a coin flip software.
Coin flips after something like that.
Well, one of us could screen share and do it.
So that's just to we're all happy with that anyway. We start from Saturday, and we would run from Saturday, and then the last recording would be at the end of July, 27th, 28th. So we could say from the 29th of June to the 27th of July or whatever.
Okay.
Okie doke, we agree on that. As far as this week's goes, this was Joe's week. Joe had the better week of the three of us.
Wow, here we go.
With a big 16 points, 12 from Collision, 14 from me, and only 10 for Barry. So Barry actually the weakest week. Oh, no way.
Wow.
Poor little Barry.
The fix is in.
Yeah, so across the 5 weeks, I've actually had the worst 5 weeks. Joe has me beaten by 2 points and Barry by 22 or something. So I have 4 people out of action. That Jamie Hayter pick looking like a really, really unlucky one.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put that in the news actually because we were pondering last week. She is injured now, now unspecific, but like her very big long injury was also a very vague. We're not saying anything about it one. So
I literally brought her in the episode before the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
she lost the match and is apparently injured. So that was
rotten luck. So yeah,
rotten luck. So probably one of my trades will be I might be moving Hayter out. We'll see. And I guess for our trades, if we are to do any this coming week, we might be predicting some of All In with those picks as well. Remember, All In is triple points, so it will make a difference.
So are we going to start from the show on Sunday or Sunday morning? When do we want to?
I would well, because we have to.
Because we're going to agree on them, we'll do it during the show.
I would say during the show.
Okay, well, on it all transfer table.
Yes,
little powwow.
Yeah. So I would say if you're planning to do transfers, a transfer or both on Sunday of next week, come with your form ready with your what you want. Maybe your backup pick in case you don't get it, and we'll powwow it out and see who gets what. Okay,
nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, quite a close week. Weirdly, we all had wrestlers on Grand Slam, and most of them lost. So, the only winners in Grand Slam Mexico were Danny Garcia and John Moxley, both in multi-man matches, so they only got 2 points each. Okada, who was the only 4-point scorer in any of our teams, and then Brody King and Adam Cole on 2 each as well. Everybody else who lost, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wrestlers all losing on that show. But otherwise fairly straightforward. Yeah, so out of action currently, just give you a little injury update. Joe still only Orange Cassidy highlighted in the red. No news on his return. He came back briefly and then disappeared again, so no news on him. Similarly, Hook showed up at Double or Nothing, only to then do nothing again.
That was odd.
Very strange. Cope, Pac, and Hayter. I anticipate Cope will be back sooner than later, but Hayter and Pac still both with question marks, which four people out of action for me.
Yeah.
And Barry just with the full 10. No news at all.
Now I am eyeing up some trades. Even though I'm healthy, I got some low earners here.
You've got 3 people in the 20s. Willow, Statlander, I don't think has had a match in about 6 weeks, even though she's on TV and they are building towards something.
And like Willow's like floating around and they are using her a lot, but like she's not really getting like I feel like next year will be the actual year for the singles push for her. I'm wondering should I like cut bait, but no, I mean then they'll probably decide, oh no, we're actually going as hard as humanly possible with her as soon as they do that. So yeah, I'm
Brody King actually, for as many matches as he's had, has quite a low points per match.
I mean, he's firmly he's obviously in the kind of Tony Khan likes him, but he's just not. He's not going to push him meaningfully. I'm eyeing up some of those notable free agents. Like there's some heavy scorers in the free agent. And it's just like it's all just about playing the games. Like, will they stay that way for the next 5 months or whatever?
One last note before we move on then is Joe's clever trade of a few weeks ago, taking in Dax Harwood for MJF, paying off because MJF disqualified this week, second
very well
of the year, which leaves him on 3 points for the year so far, which is
God,
extremely sad. which is less points than let's see,
Wheeler Yuta,
considerably less than Jeff Jarrett,
Tekla, Toa Leona,
Sean Dean. Captain Sean Dean has more points than MJF.
Turbo Floyd,
Momo Watanabe has more points than MJF.
Yuka Sakazaki, I don't think she's in the country anymore.
Lee Moriarty has more points.
Mystico, of course.
Plenty of wrestlers.
The Frat Pack.
Mark Davis. Mark Davis can't find him in a search party, but he has more points.
AR Fox has more points
Mark
than Jeff.
Davis. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, like what happened there?
Is he still in the Canales family?
I don't actually know. I don't remember what happened there.
Because they've got about 17 members now,
yeah.
so.
Charlie Bravo has more points than MJF. I don't even like that's Sean Dean's partner, isn't it?
It is correct.
Wow, jeez.
Right. In any case,
EJ has him more than doubled.
He has one pay-per-view win, so 8 points for him.
Oh, that's great. That's what.
Yeah. So MJF, I don't think he'll be making the lists for 2026. Okay. Quiz time.
Hooray!
We are playing Place Your Brets.
Place Your Brets.
So I'll quickly go through the rules if people need a refresher, because it's a while since we played. Place Your Brets is kind of we have 5 categories. We'll take turns. I'll flip a little coin or something to see who goes first. But we'll take turns going back and forth, and we'll do a similar thing. We'll to update the rules here. We'll do a similar thing as we do with Give Me 5, where for the last round, the person who's behind can choose to go first or not, right? So essentially, I'm going to give whoever goes first. I'm going to give a category, and you have to place your Bret in terms of how many items in that category do you think you can name.
Yeah.
Your opponent will then can outbet you, and you'll bet back and forth until one of you has come to the highest number and the other person passes. You then have to name that many. We don't have a strict time limit, but if you're going 20 seconds between items, I'm probably going to start to call you on it. 20 seconds of let me think. Ding dong. We'll give you a little bit of thinking time, but we can't have like 30 seconds of dead air. Right. Then you're going to be called on. If you can name as many as you bet, you'll get that many points. Yeah. If you fail, your opponent will get however many you named. Okay. So we'll flip the coin. Barry, birthday boy, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads it is. So Barry, you can choose if you want to go first or second here.
I'll go first.
Okay. Do you want category 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Let me go 5.
5. We're starting with the non-wrestling category today. I'm looking for Simpsons characters with known jobs. So you need to know the character's name, and you need to know what their job is.
Oh God. Okay.
How many can you name?
I'm sure I could do at least 10.
All right, Joe, can it be 10?
I'll go 11.
Okay.
I'll go 13.
Ooh, that's a saucy little number.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. Do I think I can do 14? I'll tell you what. But so we have to name their
name and job.
But when you say job, Paul, like specific position and role, or just generally,
whatever they're referred to in the show, I think it's probably
they're
fine.
A baker.
Yeah,
I
think Paul will be reasonable. I'm sure
Baker will be fine.
I'll go. Oh God. Yeah, I'll go 14 then.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I'll go 15.
Okay. All right, go on then. Go on.
Oh,
Then.
fuck, Barry. Shit. Okay.
Barry 15.
Okay. I will go Reverend Lovejoy. He is a reverend.
Yep.
Principal Skinner, the principal.
Shit.
Edna Krabappel, school teacher.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hoover, school teacher.
Very good.
Shit.
Mr. Bergstrom, substitute teacher.
Yes.
CM Burns, nuclear power plant owner. Or what's he on that? What's he on that chart? He's under the canary.
Yeah, that's fine.
Waylon Smithers, personal assistant to Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Chief Wiggum, police chief.
Yep.
Lou, police officer.
Yeah.
Eddie, police officer.
Very good.
Homer Simpson, safety inspector at a nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
I think you find he's a nuclear safety technician, but fine.
I said public generous, didn't I? He's a fair man. He's a fair man, you know. Groundskeeper Willie, the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
Apoon has to be a Pentalon. Quickie Mart owner / cashier.
Greengrocer, I would have accepted.
Greengrocer, yeah.
Groceries is such a great old-fashioned word. We don't use it anymore. Groceries.
The sea captain, among other things, a restaurateur. Of course, he owns the all-you-can-eat.
Yeah.
Patty Bouvier, DMV attendant.
Yeah, that's 15, Barry. So
he could have kept going.
You bastard.
Very good. 15.
You didn't even do Dr. Hibbert.
I didn't do any of the other. Like, there's like 3 other doctor characters.
I would have taken Krusty brackets clown.
Yeah.
Ken Brockman. I mean, the list goes on.
The list goes on. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Nick.
Mr. Bumblebee.
Bumblebee Man.
Bumblebee Man.
I will say as well, for the purposes of this, I would have accepted greasy, pimpled teenage.
Yeah.
Works in the Krusty Burger or whatever it's called.
Superintendent Chalmers.
Yeah. I suppose we can get Chalmers after we got Skinner, Krabappel, Hoover, and Bergstrom.
Oh yeah, I went real cheap with Bergstrom.
Okay, so that's 15 points for Barry. Joe, you're up next. Do you want 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Let's go for 1.
1. Okay. Joe, we are looking for wrestlers who appeared in the 2000 and 2001 Royal Rumble match.
Oh, wow.
So wrestlers who were in both 2000 and 2001 Royal Rumble matches.
Fuck. I couldn't even do 2. I'll be honest.
Joe, 2.
No. I go 4.
4. Okay.
Oh God, I'll go 6.
6. Joe, can you beat 6?
No.
No, you're not even going to bluff.
No.
All right, Barry, 6. Go for it.
Okay, so let me see. The Rock.
Yes, The Rock is correct.
No more BS Paul White.
No more BS Paul White. I'm just looking for him here. Oh, he's under the name The Big Show.
Oh, I remember that little trivia note for you there. Scotty Too Hottie.
Correct.
Rikishi.
Correct.
I'm trying to think, was the other fucker in it? Grandmaster Sexay.
Yes, correct.
Oh, shit.
One more.
Bradshaw
is correct.
Oh, fucking hell.
So 6 points for Barry. There was actually
how many was there? Yeah, that's
there were actually 17 possible.
Well, really? Wow, because I was thinking of. I was like the amount of people who came in my head, but like I was like Kane, Undertaker, but they were all in that weird. They were all away beginning of 2000.
Well, I'll run through the list. Grandmaster Sexay, Rikishi, Scotty Too Hottie, Steve Blackman, Test, Crash Holly, Farouk, Al Snow, Val Venus, Albert, Hardcore Holly, The Rock, The Big Show, Billy Gunn, Bradshaw. Kane was actually in both, and The Godfather. We're all in both of those Royal Rumbles. So, Barry, that has you on 21 points. You're up again now with 2, 3, or 4.
2.
2. We're looking for women from AEW who are no longer under contract. So I will say there is a little bit of not strictness of the rules here, but like I'm not looking for people who are on AEW Dark once. I'm looking for people who were...
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. Actual contracted people. Yeah.
Who are no longer there. That's what we're...
Okay. I think I could do 5.
5. Joe?
Well, I'll go 6.
Joe says 6.
Oh God. No, I think I'm gonna ask Joe to do that.
All right, Joe. 6 points on the line. Off you go.
Oh, it's gonna be a struggle.
That's a hard one.
Okay. Big Swole.
Yep.
Blake Monroe.
Yes.
Fucking hell, who's there? Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good.
Abaddon.
Yeah. I'll accept, even though it's them.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They're what? I'll accept that. Abaddon was in the women's division.
Did they wrestle in the women's division?
Yeah.
Then do wrestle in the women's division. Saraya.
Yes. That's
5. I didn't even think of Saraya.
So one more.
Right, here we go. Okay. It's gotta be. I think anyone else who's jumped ship. I don't know if there's anyone. Anyone who's been fired? Not really. Fucking hell.
Okay, we're gonna have to push you now.
All right. Hang on a minute. It's gonna come to me. Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong, I will accept. Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
what a pull! Well done.
That one out
So
of the
that's
bag.
6 for Joe.
I threw the very early ones. I had Sadie Gibbs and B. Priestley were
They're on my list as well. I've just put together a list. There's obviously no strict list here. B. Priestley, Sadie Gibbs, Kylie Ray. I also have Leva Bates.
Yes.
Eva Lise.
Oh, yeah.
CJ Perry, the Bunny, Brandy Rhodes, of course.
The Bunny, of course, yeah.
The Bunny's not around anymore.
No, she's gone like a year and a half at this stage.
What?
Yeah, I know. Tony Khan, idiot.
Fucking Tony Khan, man.
Brandy Rhodes and Mel.
Why was there not an R-Truth-esque campaign to save the bunny? For
Hey,
fuck's
listen,
sake?
I was running it, but the people didn't want to have it.
Well,
I don't know if she wrestles anymore. She seems to do a lot of like cons, and she does like horror podcasts and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't get the impression she's doing a lot of wrestling anymore.
Fair play to her. It's a good racket.
All right, 6 points for Joe there. Then we have Joe. You can pick 3 or 4.
We're gonna have to go lucky number 3.
Lucky number 3. AEW managers is what we're looking for here. And I will clarify, there's obviously a little bit of grey area between what's a manager and what's a wrestler who's coming out with somebody. But I will say, anyone who's been like a second often enough, I will accept. I won't accept like Cash Wheeler came out with Dax Harwood.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Of course.
People who are like often enough accompanying a specific wrestler, I'll pretty much accept.
Ooh, okay. Let's go for.
And this isn't current. This is all time AEW, by the way.
Of course,
so even
Yeah.
past.
Let's go for 7.
Joe's going 7.
Oh geez. Yeah, I'll go Owens.
Can you beat 8?
I think I'm gonna have to go 9.
Wow. Really think about this. No, I'll pull back there. I'll even go again.
Joe, 9 for you, please.
Okay. Let's go for Tully Blanchard.
Yep.
Arn Anderson.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of anyone else. Was he he wasn't really a manager. He appeared.
Again, we'll be fair with what is technically a manager or not, but you know what I mean.
I think, I've got someone, and I think so. Who else we got? William Regal.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was.
Willie Regal it was.
It was Willie Regal, yeah.
Didn't they just call him Regal a lot? I feel like there was a bit of a thing there.
It might have been.
When he come out to embarrass himself and go, "Oh, Excalibur, your cock is looking absolutely scrumptious tonight."
Anyway, I'll stab you in the back as soon as look at you.
Who else we got? Mother Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Mother Wayne. God, there must be loads. Come on.
We need 5 more.
Penelope Ford. 4 for Joey Janela. She's a valet. You know, okay. Valets as managers. You sexist pig.
You sexist arsehole.
On Barry's birthday.
I know. This is not what my birthday is supposed to be about. Let me tell you.
I'll tell you. I will give you.
You know what? She has seconded a lot of wrestlers. Janela, Sabian, Bay.
Yeah,
she has done it a lot. I think that's a fair enough quote.
I'll give you Ford, but that's as far into that direction as I will go. Okay.
Let's go on the safety.
Let's dial it back a little bit into actual managers.
How about Donald Callis?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
3 more, Joe. That's 6.
3 more. Okay. I've got one strong one. I'm just got a couple of risky ones, but I don't want to push my luck through. Paul's being a bit of a taskmaster today. In his quiz that he's made up. Who fucking else is a manager?
6 more managers, please. 3 more.
No,
3 more managers.
3 more managers. Oh, fuck. Well, did she ever actually come out as a manager?
If not, I would probably not guess it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because some people, you know, they appear for like once or twice and then say, well, not new manager. What's that man's name? Can't remember. Oh, let's go Stokely Hathaway. That's my definite one.
Big Stoke, yeah.
Big stocky Stoker. Come on. It must be. I swear,
2 more. 2 more.
They've had loads of fucking managers.
Yeah, there's some big ones. There's some big ones. I think you might be overlooking.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be. God, my mind's going blank. MVP.
MVP, very good.
Of course,
that's
MVP.
One of the big ones that Barry might have been referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, come on, one more.
One more manager. Come on, or valet, if you want to be.
Well, okay. No, you're not going to take.
I mean, you can throw it out. I'm not. You don't lose.
Well, no, I don't want to be disqualified.
No, there'll be no disqualifications. There'll be no disqualifications.
I don't want to be
no holds barred.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fair one.
I will say. So you got the 9, Joe. I think you missed. I mean, 2 of the biggest stars in AEW currently have managers that you didn't name.
Who? No, all right.
Prince Nana.
Oh, I don't count him.
Luther.
He never wrestles.
He's more of a
friend. A friend, a pal.
Confidant.
He's a prince.
Oh, Joe, breaking news. Is it your birthday? Red Letter Media just posted a review of Back to the Future, so you've got something to watch.
I was going to say Brandy Rhodes. Do you have accepted that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I would accept the Brandy Rhodes. Luther as well, of course. Tony Storms.
He's not a manager, he's a butler.
Jake Roberts, Alex Abrahante is on my list as well.
That's who I...
Sanjay.
What about Jose, the assistant? Or whatever
Jose the assistant.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Mark Sterling, Karen Jarrett.
Daniel Lambert, remember him?
Dan Lambert. The one that I was really like... Yeah. The one I was using as the example of one that I would probably accept was kind of on the edge. Daddy Magic, I probably would have taken.
That's a fair one, yeah.
Eddie Magic, yeah.
It doesn't wrestle very often anymore, but is always there with Danny Garcia.
I was also thinking of CJ Perry, but did she ever actually second?
Yes, she was there during the last match against
right.
Andrade. So he was out there. So Joe, you got the 9 anyway, so that brings you up to 15 points. The score is 15-21. It's all of a sudden closer.
Okay.
Going into the last category, okay, which I'm not sure is going to be maybe it'll be a big score. I don't know. Joe, since you are 6 points behind, you can place the bet first here if you'd like. We're looking for a New Japan.
Oh God.
G1 winners. The G1 Climax, which started in 1991. Anyone who won that tournament, going back to 1991.
Oh God. I'll go 5.
Joe's going 5. Barry, can you beat 5?
I'll go 6, I guess.
Okay.
I suppose I'll have to go. I'll go 8.
All right, so he's going 7. He's going 8. I would say, Joe, 7 would be enough for you to win here. So if you do want to go 7,
shit. No, but then Barry might have gone.
Yeah, I could have gone 7.
Barry would need to get 8 then.
Let me think here.
Right, Joe's gone 8. Barry, can you beat 8?
Yeah, I'll go 9.
Barry's got 9.
Absolute shithouse.
He has it on his birthday.
It's a spirit of competition. You can see
with affection.
Yeah.
Lovely shithouse.
So what? 10. You said 9.
I said 9.
9.
Barry said 9.
Can I do 10 Japanese fellas or possibly not Japanese fellas?
Yeah, a couple of gaijin in there.
Gaijin in there. Go on, I'll go 10 then.
Fucking hell. I'll go 11.
Wow.
What? I'll let him do it.
Okay.
Barry, 11 New Japan G1 winners, please.
Okay. Chono,
sure.
Okada.
Yes.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yep.
Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yes.
Kenneth Omega.
Yep.
William Ospreay.
Is not correct.
Wow. What we
So I mean, you still have 5 to name, Barry. If you think you can do it, but Ospreay is not one of them. I'm afraid.
Okay.
Never won the G1.
Okay. Shingo Takagi
is not correct.
Damn. Okay, I might be out of luck here. Yuji Nagata.
Yuji Nagata is correct.
Hiroki Goto
is correct.
So
you still need 3 more.
I'm trying to go back like a generation. I'm like thinking more of the dads.
So you've got 2 wrong. I will say I didn't establish this at the beginning, but I think one more wrong answer. I think you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
We won't accept any more wrong answers.
Togi Makabe
is correct.
Ibushi Kota
is correct. So you need 1 more.
Fuck. I'm trying to think. Is there another old boy I can?
Hulk Hogan.
I'm trying to think who in like the early 2000s. I've done Makabe. Did I already say Shingo? I did, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck. Ooh. Oh God, this is really hard.
We're going to have to push you soon, Baron.
Oh, I know this is wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. Suzuki.
No Suzuki, I'm afraid. So
yes, I knew he didn't win, but I had to take a punt.
So that means that Joe, you get 10 points, which means that you are the winner of the quiz. A come from behind victory.
Well done.
25-21.
Well, very well played, Barry.
My hubris got me there. I knew it was it was Joe might have clutched that out somehow.
Yeah, so there were only 19 answers. You got 10 out of 19, which is very good.
I'll take that.
And it was a lot of the early ones.
The only one I had, I'm not sure if you got it, was old Shinsuke Nakarama.
Oh yes,
Shinsuke Nakarama would have been a correct answer.
By the way, every now and then I remember that video, and I try and I think that's
no, you can't find it.
I think that young lad, God bless him, probably like grew up, became a teenager, like, oh, what the fuck is this thing I have on my YouTube from 10 years ago? If anyone doesn't know what reference I'm making, it's funny because the last 2 weeks we had
this is the new Shinsuke
ginger thing. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know what, so there was when Shinsuke signed with WWE fucking a decade ago at this stage, God bless him, this like it was a child, it was not even a teenager,
a
Yorkshire kid.
He was like
this little Yorkshire child who was like trying to kind of do the, you know, when kids do the little like impersonation of like a person running a YouTube channel. It's kind of like what I do as well. And he goes, guys, you won't believe this news. Shinsuke Nakarama is bloody going to WWE. And it was,
I can't believe it. Shinsuke Nakarama.
And it was so funny. Yeah,
but what was funny is it was just a random video one of us found. It had like probably 6 views on it. This wasn't like a viral thing.
No. It was listened to about as much as this podcast, which I think is why we enjoyed it.
Shinsuke Nakarama.
But he was obviously very excited about it. Oh, bless him. I wonder if he's still watching wrestling today. Whenever I remember an old...
No, he's probably so disappointed with Nakamura's run.
Yeah, he probably gave up forever. It's like whenever I remember like an old internet like wrestling, like, you know, a proto content creator from back in the day, I'm like, they probably just gave up because it was so shit for so long and probably don't even watch anymore. If that kid is out there, God bless him, reach out to us, let us know that you...
I mean, it should be easy enough to find the episode where we talked about it. So maybe I'll try and hunt that down next after we solve the mystery of Ginger on to Banana.
Yes.
The next one is the mystery of Shinsuke Nakarama.
Yeah.
And if we can figure that out. Anyway, the other ones, Satoshi Kojima, Barry, who of course we've both seen in person. Tenzan, you could have Tenzan.
I was trying to think of more of the dads. I was like, they all fucking.
Well, let me give you some dads. Keiji Muto,
of course, yeah.
Ricky Choshu,
yeah.
Sasaki.
This is annoying. I should have got
Shinya Hashimoto,
yeah.
Fujinami, and then Manabu Nakanishi.
Of course.
Come out with Yuji Nagata, the 2 old boys pumping their little old fists. Oh,
yeah. That was I should have gotten those. Annoying. Anyway,
a hard-fought quiz, which is the sign of a well-balanced quiz.
Well done, Paul.
Well done, Barry, and well done, Paul.
And
Wendell Joe for winning,
and a big win for Joe.
It's about the entertainment for the fans.
It's about naming New Japan.
It's about doing the meme about how men like to just sit around in the pub naming old footballers. That's what our quizzes are all about. That's
what we love.
Alrighty. Speaking of what we love, let's talk about this show from Arena Mexico. The AEW Dynamite Grand Slam this week, 2.5 hour presentation, which I think that's a nice balance where it's longer, so it feels a bit special, but it's not like a chore.
Yes,
I thought this was a pretty dang breezy show. Hangman Adam Page came out, and he did this. It was a cute little intro because he started by hola, and everyone, the Americans are, oh, well done. He's doing the little, here's my little bit of Spanish, and then he goes, lo siento por mi español, and everyone, oh, Hangman, and then he goes on to do this like actual promo in Spanish to kick off the show. This was great. This was so great. And I think Excalibur was caught in the hop about this because he was trying to do like the Chris Charlton thing of like quietly like translating as he's speaking, but I don't think he was expecting this to actually happen, so he was like kind of panicking and like caught off guard.
It felt to me, I'm far to be me from talking bad about Excalibur's Spanish, but it felt like someone else was translating it to his ear and he was relaying the translation.
Yes, yeah, possibly, or like because obviously he's wrestled a lot of luchadors back in his prime. Yeah. If he had like very basic stuff from back in the day, but also Hangman was blitzing through this stuff. He was doing great. He talked about. So yeah, he talked about his experience growing up on his family's farm, where there were Mexican workers and they were influential on his life, and they were hardworking, and they took care of each other, and gave us this big. It was a big rallying kind of like we are all better when we work together was the direct quote, which the crowd loved, and it was a great fiery kind of like one of the more kind of straightforward like Hangman's a babyface things now he's done in a while, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
It was great. It was so great, and the crowd loved it. And that was it. There was no angle or nothing, which was also a nice, pleasant surprise. No one came out. You know, it was
no. He said I can't be out there for the main event, but no one said anything about after the main event.
Yeah,
that was the closest it got to an angle.
Yeah.
My favorite bit of it though. Let's not skip over this. He was like, on my farm, we had a couple of Garcias. You know, we had a Riviera and about 10 Miguels. What the fuck is all called Miguel over? What's going on, lads? Oh, I'm only having a laugh. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. Good stuff there from the hangar.
Yeah.
Up next, we got 14-man tag team action.
A lot of men.
Dax Harwood, Volador Jr., Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, Josh Alexander, and Hechicero. Adam Cole, Brody King, Bandido, Daniel Garcia, Atlantis Jr., and Templario. They did say that FTR Hair had travel. Apparently, some other people on the show had travel issues as well. I don't know if there was some variety.
Yeah,
of issues.
Who was the other one that wasn't there?
I can't remember, but they there was a couple of people anyway. So I bet.
Claudio
was just
CC.
yeah. It's Mr. CC. Two lads who I'd say probably would have really relished being on the show, which is a shame. But I'm sure they'll be back. This was a rollicking success. This show, it felt special. It was one of I do always love when you watch a wrestling show and it's like it's in different territory amongst another kind of culture of wrestling, but you can tell like they're into getting to see this different thing. Like the example everyone always brings up is like when New Japan does those like Fantastica Mania shows. And the Japanese fans, they love seeing the lucha. They get into the lucha. They wear their masks. They try and do the chants and stuff like that because they relish getting to see that. This crowd, this was not a crowd who like popped for the luchadors and then didn't know who anyone else was. They were super into seeing an AEW show, which was really great. And so they had this insane 14-man match with tons of action. I did love in one of those kind of like, you know, you're just getting a slice of life into this other promotion. They were pushing Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. as big baby faces on commentary for whatever reason. This fan base has like turned on him. My completely ignorant understanding of it is just a kind of like we don't want this baby face kind of classic wrestling thing. Just like Excalibur like trying to figure out a way to rationalize it over the course of the match was very funny. Because they fucking hated Junior in particular. They hated every time he would do anything. They were just turning instantly on the match and then cheering for anyone else. It was very, very funny.
They loved Hechicero as well.
Yeah, Hechicero kind of seems like he's in that kind of like Ishii kind of role where it's like they don't really push him, but like he's like a beloved like mid card guy that the fans rally behind, you know, which is cool. Super fun match. All action. And it concluded with Atlantis winning, which maybe they thought would get a big pop. Rolling up Harwood.
Did we mention Brody's shirt, by the way?
Yes, yeah, he came out in his Abolish ICE shirt, which caused quite a stir. That makes it sound bad, but which people appreciated him doing. I mean,
news.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, he was on what was it? Who's that?
MSNBC with some I don't know.
Wasn't it? Wasn't he on one of the comedy shows, one of the late night shows? I feel like I don't know. Anyway, he got lots of attention. He's also selling a shirt with like a graphic of him wearing that shirt with like the proceeds going to like a community. He's from LA, obviously, so he also popped up. He pops up in movies and TV shows here and there, so I say he's got a lot of ties in that community. So fair play to him. Yeah. The heels jumped the baby faces afterwards, and we had a bit of a schmoz where the baby faces ran him off, and then they got to do the big kind of like raising everyone's hand in the middle of the ring, which is nice. Mark Briscoe versus Okada in the continent. I guess it was a non-title, actually. I guess it was non-title. Yeah. We got a really great promo, like an inset promo from the farm with Mark Briscoe. I kind of wish we just got this whole... This is kind of like a chopped down, abridged version, but it was a great promo from him on the farm, and they had footage of him teaming with Omega from like 15 years ago that I thought was really cool. Like old ROH footage.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would have liked if they just showed more of this, but whatever. I mean, the show wasn't hurt by not seeing the full thing. Really good match. Maybe it didn't hit the heights I was kind of hoping, given the year Briscoe's had, but good fun.
It was a bit of a slow burner. I wonder if we've talked about Okada and how he's been in AEW. I wonder if his style, being on top in New Japan so long, has just kind of evolved to lend itself to more like epics.
Yeah.
Than your 10 to 15 minute Dynamite match, you know?
He's not a TV wrestler. He's a
big
match.
We've seen with the Ospreay match, of course, having a match with Ospreay is not exactly hard. But like whenever he goes longer, like into 25, 30, that's when he seems to like shine more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was one that if I felt like the longer it went, the more I got into it.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, I wonder if that's kind of one of the issues with Okada, I guess, to an extent. I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see with the Omega match how that goes. I mean, again, being in there with Omega, you're not exactly wrestling a broom. But
and I do think that match will be, because that the way they lay out that card is going to be quite interesting, because I feel like that match, that could be the bones of an hour, right? They've gone very long in the past. Their longest was like 70 minutes. You've also got the Battle Royal, which will be 40 minutes, thereabouts. You got some long matches on that show. To be honest, I wouldn't hate if it was like just a lot of long matches.
Well, how long was the Gauntlet match last year? Let me just check.
Yeah,
I feel
like it was quite. I mean, they're very breezy. They go quite fast.
A lot of 40 minutes. 38 minutes. So
26
what?
minutes.
Oh, wow, really?
26. 12 people were in it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, guys, it could end after 1 minute.
Oh, well, of course, yeah, that is the...
Eddie Kingston just backstage doesn't even get involved.
Yeah, he's just like, damn, I want to my comeback.
They just cut to backstage and it's Eddie Kingston, Sting, and the Ultimate Warrior. Fuck.
So they put the beat down on Briscoe after the match. I thought maybe the fans thought maybe Kenny was going to be there. Kenny was heavily advertised for this, which was a bit odd that they did the big injury angle the previous week, because he was like front and center on the graphics when they announced this. But oh well. We got MJF versus Mystico in probably the most heated thing on the show. I mean, the atmosphere for this was absolutely unbelievable.
The entrance
was spectacular. I didn't even realize, because obviously we don't watch Lucha. I didn't realize this isn't his song anymore, but his very famous music that he doesn't use anymore, I think allegedly because it's expensive, because it's like a licensed song. But
I don't know if they pay that much attention to that in Mexico.
But he doesn't use that song. He does. Seems to be that he doesn't use it. But I
mean, you watch. We're not Lucha experts here, but watch the odd Triple Mania over the years, and you have people coming out to Michael Jackson.
But it's all just mixed so badly nobody can hear it, so it's fine. So he comes out to this spectacular entrance, and everyone's singing along, and you're like, this guy is like,
they're like crying along to it.
Yeah, it is like they might as well just be seeing El Santo. Do you know what I mean? Like it is like this figure of myth.
Even Michelle got up and started singing along to it. She was like, "Oh, I love this song." She was like, "Da da da."
Yeah, so I didn't know this either. Apparently, it was also like, because it's like he's in the music video as well. Like it's a song written for Mystico, but like it was also like apparently a big radio hit. Like it was a very popular song. It's a great song. Oh God, it was great. It was just another very funny moment where I was like, if you're watching this show and you don't know anything about Lucha, you don't know anything about AEW, you just dropped in and you watched this show, like, you would not need anything explained to you about who Mystico is. You'd get it you just see the entrance and you go, all right, well, okay, this guy is the ace.
It was very pure.
It was very pure. The language of wrestling is universal, MJF came out, I mean, just doing all the hits, come out in some of the most atrocious gear you've ever seen in your life. I mean,
MVP gear.
He wears like now MVP like parody gear, for lack of a better term, airbrushed with like all this American symbology on it. So atrocious. I suppose intentionally so.
Yes.
For heat, brother, and this was heated. I mean, look, they did not have a Kenny Omega Kazuchika Okada classic. They had a perfectly fine match that was just incredibly heated. You know what I mean? This was a drama and theatrics match in a good way, not in an insulting way. They did do a tombstone on the ramp, which got a big reaction. It's obviously a much more protected move. These fans don't see MJF do that on every single pay-per-view, so they pop big for it. And so towards the end, then it was kind of like MJF tapped when the ref was distracted. Then when the ref came back in to kind of paid back attention to the finish of the match, MJF low-blowed Mystico when he was on the cusp of losing. And I was surprised by this because obviously they teased it, but he actually got his mask off of him.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that is not a J-Brone to be pulling a mask off of. So you would have to imagine they are going to do another match at some point.
All in.
So this is the thing. Like, that would make sense, wouldn't it? But also, you're like, God, wouldn't you think they'd want to have, after getting his mask ripped off, wouldn't you think they'd want Mystico to win in Arena Mexico? But that could be next year, though, so they're probably not going to drag it out that long. Would make sense.
All in Texas, big Latin
community, yeah.
And I mean, you want to draw that. Wow. So maybe you do that match and get some of the people who are in the crowd here in Arena Mexico up to Texas for
and do you think
for a show?
Do you think maybe if they do that in Texas, the old Lucha de Apuestas, do you think MJF's Gruig is going on the line?
Could be.
His Barnes. His possibly new Barnes.
Can we get Ospreay in that match? Make it a triple.
Yeah, just for McHugh, lads. Mr. will do the lot of Ever over the course of the show.
He'll do a tope holding the razor. Buzz them all in one go.
Oh dear,
I think it's possible. I mean, what else do they have for MJF? I mean, yeah, they could do a like Hurt Syndicate versus Mystico, Speedball, and Kevin Knight or something, make it a 6-man tag. But like, why not just do the Mystico match and then the tag team title match separately? Sounds more appealing to me. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out sooner than later because we're only like 2 weeks away, so 3 weeks away.
Yeah, so we should see what the follow up is on that one. We had Tony Khan's new favorite thing, which is the match for money. At Ricochet versus Hologram versus Leo Rush versus Mascara Dorada. Another all action, good fun match. Picked up the win. Hologram picked up the win.
Yeah.
And he seemed to do very well. I don't know, what his status was in Mexico prior to deciding here, but they certainly loved him on this night. So yeah, good showing for him.
Yeah, Dorada looked great again as well.
Curious what Ricochet does it all in.
Hologram maybe off the back of this.
And that'd be fun.
That would be fun. That doesn't seem like a huge match, but that would be a great little.
I mean, like that show is looking incredibly heavy. I mean, it's looking stacked. So I mean, if they can fill it out with kind of just a couple of mid-carders having fun matches underneath, I think that would be.
Or they're both in the Gauntlet.
I think it'd be in the Gauntlet, yeah.
That's an option as well. Let's not forget about that.
They could absolutely do a lucha / high flyer infused focused Gauntlet.
Ooh,
which I think would be very fun. We had Mercedes versus Zeuxis, the CMLL Women's World Champion. Zeuxis at one point in this match took one of the nastiest face plants off of she does this mad suicide dive with such velocity, and she belted her face off the ground. It was terrifying. She got up instantly and like worked the rest of the match, but I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Another good match. Mercedes is on a great run at the moment. I think we've seen Zeuxis on AEW before. I can't remember.
She's wrestled Mercedes on AEW before.
Okay. Yeah. They work pretty well together. I did some fun near falls there at the end.
Bit of a finish out of nowhere.
Yes, yeah, because it was like a like she did like a power slam off the top rope.
Yeah. It was like a reversal.
Yeah. So another title for Mercedes, which is funny because I just love all the people that think she's like got creative. She's like Hogan in '84, and she just refuses. She just bullies all these promoters. She goes backstage, she beats them up, and she's like, I have to fucking win your title. You don't fucking say anything about it. But yeah, so yeah, she got another championship going into her big match with Toni Storm. Speaking of, they aired a Toni Storm sort of like a detective noir theme.
Yeah.
She walked into my office like a load of trouble, vignette. And then cut back to the building, and there was Mina on the ramp for the distraction, and Toni was behind Mercedes and suplexed her, and all her belts went flying into the air, which was a really good visual.
And then she ran away, leaving them all behind.
Yes, yeah, which was great. This was good. I thought doing the stake thing 2 weeks in a row, I thought was a little bit. I was like, I don't know about that. And it was kind of cute the first time. This was like they'd like pull apart. This like a bit of a back to business. I
like the red trench coat on Toni. I think that's a great look. We keep that one. Keep that one going.
And then I'm looking at this rundown for the show, and it really was just like all action. Because then you had the main event. You had
there weren't any like backstage segments or interviews. It was all matches.
Hangman was pretty much your one like non-wrestling thing.
Yeah.
On this show. Main event was Mox, Yuta, the Beast Mortos allowed in Arena Mexico again, and the Young Bucks.
Well, Mercedes beat up.
Mercedes said, that doesn't work for me, brothers. Like, I'm taking that title, and my man is coming in, right? And I don't want to hear any more about it. And he'll sue you if you try and apparently he's a recently qualified lawyer.
Yeah.
What a fucking cool guy. He runs around with the fucking bullhead on him. I love the Beast Mortos. Anyway, versus Will Ospreay, Swerve, and the Ops. It's funny, until you mentioned there earlier in the fantasy league, I completely forgot that they did the Hook comeback and there was no
follow-up.
That's odd. What's going on there? Anyway, another fun match, just another fun all action match.
Yeah, Samoa Joe having the most fun of his life, it looked like.
Yeah.
Oh, because I think this was his first time in Arena Mexico, and he was just, oh my god, loving it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's in his. I think they said that in commentary. Yeah, it is like his long career. Never been there, so I think it meant a lot to a lot of the people on that show.
Yeah.
Mox rolled up Swerve for the win. They did a big schmoz afterwards. Hangman came down. He tried to buckshot Moxley, but he hit Matt Jackson. Everyone looked shocked at that. But he'd already told the Bucks to fuck off, so I guess I don't quite know they were shocked. But anyway, and that was your finale for the show. I mean, it was a huge success. Great show. Another great show. I mean, we are firmly back, I think, with AEW. I mean, this run of TV has been great. They've got hot crowds. They've got hot international crowds. This felt special. This did feel like a special show, and I look forward to the next one, whenever. I'm sure they'll be back. Probably maybe not this year, but I look forward to whenever they.
Yeah, that'll be I'd say maybe once a year, twice a year.
And also just like more of like doing more things like that as well. Then also means your audience is like more familiar with these guys, so that if you put them on like a Forbidden Door card, more audience will go, oh well, I know these guys. I've seen Templario now. I've seen Hechicero a couple of times. I'm more excited than I would have been, especially because the New Japan appeal isn't really there anymore. So if CMLL becomes the new cool like international wrestling thing du jour among the English and Americans, that could really bolster.
I don't know. Swerve Strickland versus Tai Chi. I mean,
yeah.
That's not.
Or fucking one of the lads from House of Torture. I can't be arsed naming one.
Toni Storm against Yano or something.
Hang on now. Wait a minute. That sounds all right. That sounds like a bit of fun. He gets the tape out and tries to edit it. She's like, "Oh, hello, darling, I made dinner first." Yeah, that was Grand Slam Mexico. How was Collision? From Collision, I saw the Tony Storm thing, and I watched the one clip of Athena giving Queen Aminata a crazy tombstone. That was cool. And I didn't watch the rest. How was the rest of it?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Joe?
No, I don't watch Collision.
No, this Collision was good. This was good fun.
I mean, I'm sure it's good. I just 2 hours is enough for me in a week.
You're right. Dynamite has you covered. Although there were some very important happenings on this Collision. Go on. So he opened up with John Moxley, AR Fox. Skip that one. Moxley wins. Don't worry about that. Proto Shita and FTR defeated Paragon, Daniel Garcia, and Bandito. For what feels like the fifth time in a row.
Yeah, I think
just beating them Paragon guys' asses like it's nothing every single week. What do we have then? Oh, but interestingly, right? So FTR and Proto Shita won the match, and they're beating up the baby faces, and then the Outrunners ran out for the save. It's like,
what?
Yeah, Outrunners to me are like lower in the pecking order than Paragon. So what sense did it make for the heels to be beating up Paragon and then get run off by the even geekier jobbers? Like, I don't know what that was about. Swerve Strickland beat Shane Taylor, good match. Again, one that's a little too predictable, really, but was good fun. Then we had the Tony Storm segment, which I loved. Loved because it felt a little bit more serious, a little less jokey. It felt like a good hybrid between timeless Tony Storm and like not necessarily old Tony Storm, but like Tony Storm is a serious wrestler. Like I've talked the other week about in ring. I feel like she's found a good place where the gimmick isn't kind of impeding her match quality, and I feel like this was a good serious promo to make the match feel serious and important. It still had the timeless flavor to it, but it wasn't all silliness, You think I'm just some other motherfucker, which was a great line, and that you're gonna have to kill me to take this title. Very, very good.
Yeah, I think Tony Storm should win that match.
I would love it.
I think if you're I think a great payoff to this Mercedes thing is if she's gonna be so thoroughly protected, to make her losses matter. I mean, I think there's no better person, I think, in the company of either gender better to get the rub by giving like a big star their first loss than Tony Storm. Like, I know Tony Storm's already a big star, but in terms of like real deal, like cement her as like the tippy top of this division, I think. And plus also none of Mercedes titles are even on the line, so it's just like, I think that would be the way I would go on that one.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Conglomeration against MXM, skip that one. Although Conglomeration was Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Willow. So Hologram is in Conglomeration, I guess. Yeah. So Willow got a win. Wow. Points on the board.
Wait, who was the woman on the MXM?
Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, yes. They're doing it, because I forgot. Yeah.
They're kind of a little bit of
a unit. Yeah.
A unit there. More Statlander teasing. Will she join the Death Riders? Will she not? Moxley was there as well as Wheeler Yuta. They're kind of sowing a seed there. Let's see what comes of it. Don Callis' family came down with the newest member, Okada. And they're talking about Omega. Okada beat Omega up. Omega's got no friends. And Mark Briscoe came out and said, I'm Kenny Omega's friend. And I'm not his only friend either. And out came Kota Ibushi. He's back.
It's back with me.
Now that surprised me. That
Kota Ibushi is back. Looking good. He doesn't look all like bloated like he did when he was around last time.
Yeah.
His kicks look good. He looked like much better like mobility than last time. That's not to say this is Ibushi of his peak necessarily, but the signs in comparison to the absolute like disaster of last time, the signs are cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, when I saw the news he was back, I kind of just laughed. I was like, man, it's because it was so bad last time. And some of the stuff he did in Japan earlier this year, I didn't see, but people were like, it was comically awful.
Yeah,
I hope he's good. He's just even if he's physically fit. I mean, he has just had so many injuries and health woes. But I would like to think after being a little bit burned last time, sure, this time AEW were like, all right, how are you? No, for real, how are you? Before we start down this road. But yeah.
I mean, you could even read into the fact that he returned on a collision, in terms of their cautiousness about using him. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I don't know if he's announced for Dynamite. I don't know if he's having a match or if it's just an appearance, but he will be there. So let's see. I mean, again, he came out here, he attacked, fought off some of Don Carlos family, looked perfectly, competent in doing it. And that's as far as we can go because it was very brief, but it wasn't kind of, you see him come back and he looked terrible and you go, oh my God, this again. It definitely was not that feeling. So we'll see. Very good angle. Then we had the Workhorsemen and the Learning Tree brawling. Big Bill and Brian Keith got the better of it. And then out came Christian Cage and the Patriarchy to announce that Christian and Nick Wayne are having a run at the tag team division to win them tag team titles. So Nick Wayne and Christian, presumably we're going to get a match between them and Big Bill, Brian Keith sometime soon. So let's see. They did tease the Anthony Bowens Billy Gunn split.
Oh, thank God.
Hallelujah. Let's, see what comes of that. Jet Speed defeated Gates of Agony, as you might expect. And then the main event, Athena, Tekla, Penelope Ford, and Megan Bain defeated TJ, Queen Aminata, and Thunder Rosa, as Barry mentioned. Big old tombstone on Aminata in this one, which was maybe the highlight. It looks like they're going to be doing Athena, Thunder Rosa on that Ring of Honor show the day before All In. So Rosa will get a title match in Texas, albeit not on All In, but that's still good for her,
Yeah.
And then as showing off the air, they announced the Casino Gauntlet match at All In. So that's where they announced the place. That was a fun collision.
All right. So a couple more weeks left till All In. So we will see where the next few weeks take us. Shifting into our non-wrestling reviews. Who watched some movies this week?
I've got a couple of movies for you.
Go on.
A couple of interesting ones. So we've got Mubi for 3 months. So watching a lot of stuff on there. But we've watched a movie from the early 2000s that stars Natasha Lyonne. How young it is. Actually, 1999 it's from. It's a very kind of turn of the century style movie. It also stars Melanie Linsky, RuPaul in a smaller role, a few other gay icons. So it's a movie about it's a very kind of heightened kind of surreal movie about a cheerleader in high school.
What's the name of the movie, by the way?
Oh, But I'm a Cheerleader.
Okay.
It's about a cheerleader who gets sent to a kind of gay re-education camp by her parents. She kind of protests, but I'm not lesbian. I just, whatever. And it from there, it's very kind of John Waters, almost kind of David Lynch style in terms of like very surreal, very funny, kind of satire. RuPaul in it plays like one of the kind of teachers of this camp who's like anti-gay and kind of incredibly macho.
Great casting.
Cut that gay shit out and all that. It's very, very funny. It is. Yeah. I'd never heard it before. I don't think it was a particularly kind of you'd think it'd be a cult classic, but I've never really heard of it before. Maybe more like the gay community, but it was absolutely fabulous.
Wow.
Very, very funny, very well conceived, like so funny and interestingly shot, with a kind of point of view. And yeah, absolutely loved it. I went the full 5 on it. It's just so iconic. I kind of said it's a bit like Mean Girls, but for the freaks, for the sickos. Yeah. That's how I describe it. Yeah, really, really good. And it's 82 minutes long, which is delightful.
I see this director, Jamie Babbitt, directed episodes of Gilmore Girls, Malcolm in the Middle, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Only Murders in the Building.
She's done every big TV
show you watch and enjoy.
Yeah, she's been huge. She should be doing more films, I think, based on this one. But yeah, really, really good. Would highly recommend that. And then on the flip side, speaking of Gilmore Girls, we watched the I think 2009 film Grad, starring Alexis Bledel. Rory Gilmore herself, playing a postgrad. So she graduates from college and she's kind of full of, idealism and I'm going to get a great job and and it all kind of goes horribly wrong. And her dad is played by Michael Keaton. When he was in that kind of period where he couldn't get work, really, in the 2000s, right. And you're watching this and thinking, he's one of the best actors I've ever seen. Why is he in this absolutely dreadful movie? So it's I could try and describe the plot, but essentially, I don't think really anything happens. She sort of everything. She graduates, everything falls apart. She thinks she's going to get this great job and apartment and everything. That it doesn't happen. So then she has to go through a series of jobs. She has this really, really annoying friend zone kind of best friend. Who has absolutely no personality whatsoever. I can't even picture his face. He's just like a most generic man you'll ever see. Of course, they get together at the end. And then, she just goes through these kind of weird sort of sketches and no real kind of plot to it. And Michael Keaton has all these subplots which aren't particularly funny. Her mum is played by Jane Lynch, which Jane Lynch and Michael Keaton, possibly the most unconvincing couple you've ever seen on the silver screen. Has J.K. Simmons in it in a small role as well. It's one of those weird kind of movies from a period with a bunch of people who kind of got very famous, not long after. Yeah. And so they're in rubbish roles here, despite being very good. It was dreadful. No redeeming features whatsoever that I could give it. It wasn't funny, wasn't interesting. No good music. Alexis Bledel sort of plays Rory Gilmore in it. Yeah, so I would not recommend that one. I'd watch I'm a Cheerleader twice after watching that.
Oh yeah. I also watched a very, very good movie.
Go on.
Which got the full 5 from me. So 2 full 5s this week. That doesn't happen very often. I watched Alexander Payne's Sideways, starring Paul Giamatti, Virginia Madsen, Stephanie. Hang on, let me pull it up here. Sideways. Sandra Oh playing the character Stephanie. Excuse me. Thomas Hayden Church, among others. So this is one of the Alexander Paynes I'd never got around to seeing, despite it being arguably his most famous movie. Holdovers, absolutely adored. Nebraska, absolutely adored. Descendants, this is okay. Downsizing, ooh, what a big pile of shite that turned out to be. But Sideways, thankfully, it follows more the Nebraska and Holdovers line of things. I thought it was perfect. Superbly cast. I mean, Giamatti just does that kind of modern, neurotic, sad sack character better than anybody else. That intellectual nerd, who's a little bit socially awkward, absolutely hits it out of the park here. Thomas Hayden Church as the kind of less moralistic kind of. So the story is that the two guys go out on kind of not necessarily stag do, but that kind of vibe where they're going to like, I don't know if I've said the Napa region of California where it is, but like in the vineyards region of California. And Jamadi is this like wine nerd and writer. And so they're going to all these different vineyards. And he's, this is a fine Shiraz made of the finest grapes. And Hayden Church is like, tastes good to me. I don't know what. And he's getting married, not Jamadi, Hayden Church's character, but he wants to go and get fucking laid and just go crazy. And Jamadi's very, you're getting married on Saturday. You can't possibly. And so they meet up with Virginia Madsen, Virginia Madsen's like not necessarily an old flame of Jamadi, but she's familiar with her, and kind of a bit of it's a comedy drama, but there's elements of romance to it as well. I thought each character was super, like, well developed, super dynamic, all have their own little motivations and character developments, all separate from each other. And really the arc of the film I thought was really extremely well handled. Sandra Oh, add her to the list of like best looking women any film in history from this movie, and Virginia Madsen as well. My God. Phenomenal movie. I thought I liked everything about it. I thought it was funny. I thought the character stuff was super interesting. The story had me engaged for the entirety. It's a little bit long, but I mean, it's like 2 hours 10 for a comedy, which sometimes can feel long. But I mean, I thought it was absolutely excellent. I absolutely loved it. So big thumbs up on Sideways from me.
Okay.
Just kind of, Alexander Payne does though, like Nebraska was as well, Holdovers was as well. Kind of movies with like real heart to them, where you like really care about the characters, you really care about their journey, and care about the story. So yeah, I went full 5. I absolutely loved it.
Wow.
I also watched A Quiet Place Day 1.
Oh yeah,
which I did like. I didn't really enjoy the first Quiet Place.
Oh really?
No, I thought that it was a little too gimmicky, a little too surface level. I didn't really care about the characters.
Okay.
I kind of wish that the movie had more going for it than be quiet, because if you make a noise, the bad aliens get you. Like I wanted more allegory or more metaphor to the story. Maybe there is, but I didn't get anything from it when I was watching it. This one has a lot more going for it, which I really enjoyed. Lupita Nyong'o, who, talking of beautiful actresses, one of the best actresses going.
Oh, phenomenal.
One of the best actresses, or of any gender, best actors going. Elevates everything she's in. I mean, my God, brilliant in this movie as well. You'd be shocked to hear. But her character, having terminal cancer, added this extra layer to the movie that I felt the first movie didn't have. Because, you have this same scenario where everyone has to be quiet, and, if you make a noise, you get attacked and get killed. Well, when you have a character who is anyway going to die, inevitably, suddenly the character motivations become a lot more interesting, and her relationships with other characters and how she's kind of brought around to value life and so on. Like, I mean, you could have had this movie without even the aliens in it, and it would have been super good, My one gripe is I couldn't shake that feeling of and it wasn't as strong as it was at First Quiet Place, but that feeling of cheapness and gimmickry.
Yeah.
Where there's one scene early on where the what's the guy's name from Jumanji? Is it Alex Wolff? Is that his name? His character, suddenly the building they're in loses power and the generator goes on. And the generator, of course, is super loud, right? So he goes out to turn the generator back on. So in my head, you have a scene where, they're coming, but he's far away from the generator. He's going to get there. He's going to sacrifice himself for the greater good for everybody. And at the last second, they're literally, attacking him and he gets it up, but they lose him. Very tense scene. What happens is he goes out to the generator and turns it back on, and then his shirt gets caught on it, and the noise of the shirt tearing is what attracts him. No. And it was like, that is so cheap. Like every time in this movie, something happens like that. It's never a character like sacrificing himself and making the noise because it's a necessity in order to get from A to B. It's always, oh, I was standing up and I knocked a book over. Do you know what I mean? It's always like pratfalls and not like that. To me, always felt super unearned and super lazy. And that was the one bit of the movie that I didn't really like so much. But I thought everything else was very good. So those are my 2 movies. Barry, what about yourself?
I rewatched a film. I watched The Batman Begins.
Oh, very good.
This week, my better half said, I kind of want to rewatch those Nolan Batman movies. And I said, you know what? I haven't done that in ages. So yeah. Why not? And I definitely think I think maturing might be realizing that Begins is the best one. I think.
I'll also rubber stamp that.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Ledger is phenomenal in The Dark Knight. I think for as grandiose and snaking and weird as a lot of the plot stuff Dark Knight gets, it works really well. It kind of, you kind of tolerate some of the holes in it for its broader goals, but they are kind of there. And even back at the absolute peak of the mania around that movie, I remember watching it thinking some of this is a bit like, it's a bit kind of Nolan, it's Nolan going full Nolan in a lot of ways, whereas Begins is really fantastic. I mean, it's like the best origin story movie of like any of these comic books. Even the other ones I love. Like it's all great. It's interesting. It's well made. It's great. What a great cast. I also think people grossly exaggerate how like realistic and grounded it is. It is relative to a lot of other stuff, but like it's got a little bit of Batman camp to it to a certain degree. It's obviously not Schumacher, right? Obviously, or Schumacher rather. But like it's got charm, it's got character, it's got comic booky elements. Like the League of Shadows is an inherently good fucking concept. I think with time the super seriousness of these movies has like been exaggerated somewhat with time. I think they have plenty of camp value, plenty of comic book charm to them. Bale is phenomenal. He's so great. I think there's no debate about who the best on-screen Batman is for my money, as much as I like Keaton. And of course, Michael Caine ties it all together, doesn't he? He bloody heart and soul of the film he is. What is the point of all them push-ups if you can't lift a bloody log? He's great. He's so great. Best Alfred. I mean, he's charming. He's funny. He's heartfelt when he needs to be. It's great. Batman Begins is phenomenal. It is one of Nolan's best. It's one of the best comic book movies ever. If you've not watched it in a while, I would definitely say give it a rewatch at some point. The effects as well. I was being very annoying during it as well because I was nudging Brona every like couple of things. It's like, so that big action sequence, that's all like miniatures, because like all the cars, almost all the car stuff is like miniatures, they look phenomenal. Anything where like pillars are being destroyed by the tumbler and things are crashing, it's almost all really phenomenally crafted and shot like miniatures. It's super well done. Some newer films, some 2025 films. Following on Paul's discussion last week, I did watch Friendship, the Rudd Robinson joint. I mean, you don't want to be reductive, but I mean, it really feels like a feature length. I think you should leave. I mean, it does feel like that. That is not just based on Tim Robinson's presence. That is what the film kind of feels like. Now, it has some other stuff going for it. I like the soundtrack. I think some of the characters are quite well done. But I will say that is the thing. And so if you've watched and actively disliked that show, I would say there's nothing for you here, even though there's some other stuff to it. I would say it is very much people in Hollywood seeing something in Tim Robinson and saying, okay, we're going to do a film where he does Tim Robinson in a film. And so you can take or leave that. I think it is great. I thought it was hilarious. I laughed uproariously at certain parts. The garage scene with Conor O'Malley was absolutely hilarious. Really well done. And it does, it feels a bit like what if one of those skits just like kept going and like the Robinson character kind of had to deal with the fact that he's an oddball who, ruins the situation he's in. Very good, very fun. And Paul Rudd quite good in it there as well. Yeah. Also a comedy, but a little less kind of off-putting and weird and dark the way Friendship is in certain parts. I watched One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. I was going to say the recording artist, but I guess she's been in a couple of films at this stage as well. Which is this feels like the type of film that doesn't really get anymore. This to me felt a little bit like 2025 Dude, Where's Your Car, which is a film I love, but it is shite. This is better than that, to be clear. Yeah. It's a kind of like rated R, like buddy cop, like buddy comedy, like low stakes, like kind of raunchy, but not super raunchy, like Caper, like is what it is. It's like two burnout, like best friends who have kind of like, who are down on their luck, have 12 hours to make rent is the core premise of it. And hijinks ensue. They bump into a bunch of wacky characters, all of whom are played by like beloved character actors or stand-up comedians. It's another one where you're constantly going, it's fucking Claude Apatow. Oh, it's fucking Cat Williams is in it, in a cameo role. There's like 3 different people from Abbott Elementary in it. There are 2 appearances from the studio of recently discussed on this podcast fame. The kind of receptionist character. I can't remember what that character's name is in the studio, but that actress is in it. And one of Catherine Hahn's like marketing buddies is also in it. So just tons of fun little cameos, tons of little wacky characters they run into over the course of their adventure, and it's just really fun. It's a very breezy watch. Like I say, it's a low stakes kind of like sort of cheeky, sort of bawdy comedy, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So yeah, thumbs up if you're looking for a breezy comedy to watch. One of them days is a solid recommendation from me. And I think that's all our films, is it?
Yeah.
On telly, I'm not watching anything new. I'm just gonna wrapping up some of the stuff I've been watching. I'm not finished Andor yet, but I'm on I finished episode 8, I believe.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. That is excellent.
You're enjoying it.
That is some top-notch TV. I mean, it's so tense as well, and it's so well done. And I'm not kind of in the business end of it as well, where they're paying a lot of things off and kind of it's great. It's great, and I'm kind of finding it hard not to binge it, but that's kind of not how I want to watch that show. I kind of just want to take my time with it and enjoy each episode. But it's tremendous.
Yeah.
It would damn near make you excited about Star Wars again, which is the highest compliment you can pay.
I won't go that far.
Yeah, I'm not quite there, but you could almost think you could do that.
I think season 2 is even better than season 1. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park.
For sure. I finished season 3 of Yolo, which was the Australian Adult Swim cartoon. They finished season 3 earlier this year, and then they kind of just nonchalantly announced that it's probably done, which was a little bit disappointing. Very fun show. I mean, you could watch all of this in like an afternoon. 3 seasons, like 8 episodes each, and they're all 10 minutes. Very fun. If you kind of like irreverent, kind of oddball, like sort of very early 2000s internet informed humor, you'll get a kick out of Yolo. Good fun. Not an essential watch, but I had fun if you're into that kind of thing. Nice. And also, I just earlier today I watched last night's Rick and Morty, which is good again, and I think last week's was very good. I think the season is quite good. I think consistency has been their issue, so I'm not going to say that everyone should get back on the Rick and Morty train, because obviously they've been very wishy-washy for a while now, but I found this season to be really strong so far. So good to see them back on form somewhat, and that's what I watched this week.
Very good. A lot of the same for me. Another strong Taskmaster, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
another really good one. I mean, this season has not disappointed, put it that way. I'm very much enjoying it.
Yeah. I didn't like the science one as much. That's probably my least favourite. That's the science presenter.
Yeah.
I like the Team Task.
Yeah, and again the live task was another.
That was good one. That was good.
Another good one. So yeah, Taskmaster, we've only got 1 or 2 left. That's done. I'll have to jump into the old ones then again.
Yeah.
Still watching The Americans, still watching Mobland.
Oh yeah.
Which are both good. I've also added the Yellowstone to the rotation. Kevin Costner Paramount show.
Yeah, it's like quietly one of like the most popular shows on.
Yeah, it's got about 12 spin-offs.
Yes, it's got. Oh man, he fucking and movies, and it's what it's like the one streaming show people watch. It's like the one thing that's making any money on streaming.
So I did watch the pilot, which is an hour and a half, maybe even hour like 45. It's like feature length pilot. It was very good. To be fair. So I'll keep watching that. Let you know how the series go as I get through that. That's basically all I've been watching.
By the way, I forgot to ask you. So I guess none of us saw the new 28 Years Later. Then, no, there you go.
I think I'm going to see it this week. So
I'm very curious about it. I was going to wait for it to go on streaming, and then the way people are talking, I'm like, oh, this seems like a thing where I'm going to want to watch it before someone just fucking tells me what happens. Yeah,
I might see it this week as well.
I might try and squeeze in a visit as well. See what we all think on that. Video game front, lots of new games came out. I will say I call time on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I really liked it. I got like 35-ish hours into it. I kind of had a moment where it's like, all right, I'm kind of bored of doing side stuff. Let's mainline the plot. And then the plot got very kind of, oh, well, you cannot simply assassinate this guy. Go talk to this person. This person's, go. I was like, all right, I think I got a lot of time out of it. I had a lot of fun with it, but it's the Assassin's Creed grind started to set in. So I was like, I've had my fun. I got my money's worth out of it. I don't think it's bad or anything, but I didn't feel like lurching through the rest of it. Also, every time I pause the game, the map is so fucking huge, and that would put me off. I was like, I don't know this. I don't know if I have the 100 hours in me to do this, right. But a good-ish entry in this franchise. I don't know if that's really enough though, for something that's been around this long. But there you go. Speaking of not really good enough, I did install and then uninstall FBC Firebreak, which is the multiplayer thing from the Alan Wake and Control people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crap. I mean, it's
oh no,
it's really not good at all. It's really not good at all. As someone who loves that universe, loves that studio, and would absolutely be down for this type of thing. It's like a co-op shooter, so it's not competitive multiplayer. It's you and randos versus NPCs, but it's not very good at all. It's not. It's quite dry. It's quite boring. The onboarding is terrible. Like there's basically no tutorial. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. So that I just uninstalled that straight away because that was like a Game Pass thing as well. So it's like I'm not wasting any more time with this.
Yeah.
Much better. Rematch launched this week. That is the football game from the Sifu developers.
Yeah.
Rocket League-esque, but minus a car. If that sounds silly, I understand, but it's a football game where you play a singular player on a team. You do not play as the team. You do not switch players when someone else is closer to the ball. You play a guy on a 3v3, 4v4, or 5v5 match. It is really great. It seems to be doing quite well, which I think is possibly resulting in some kind of server issues. It's entirely online. There is ostensibly nothing you can really play on your own. There's like a practice and training modes and stuff like that. But the game is multiplayer. It's really cool. It's really addictive. There's a little bit of FIFA Street in there as well. If anyone enjoyed those games back in the day, it's arcadey. It's kind of easy to pick up, but I think tough to master. It's very cool. I really, really like that. That's also a Game Pass, but it's like I think it's like 25 quid. Just buy it outright, which is not bad at all. So I'm going to stick with that. See, it seems like one of those things that after a couple of weeks, people are going to be insanely good at it. So I'll see if I get bored of getting absolutely smashed online. But yeah, that's good.
Okay.
The other thing I picked up was another smash hit that came out this week, and I think they just announced they sold 1 million copies. Peak, which is a co-op climbing game, mountain climbing game. And they made an interesting choice with this one. This is only on PC at the moment. I think it's been popular enough. It'll probably come to other stuff, though. So it's a multiplayer thing where you're like helping each other climb up a mountain. You can pull up your buddies when they're struggling on a ledge and things like that. It's one of these games that has proximity chat. So you can only hear your buddies on your teammate when they're like next to you.
Right.
Or they can yell down at you from where they're climbing. It's very much a play with your buddies game. So much so that this game does not have matchmaking with randos. It's like your options are play by yourself, or I think the menu item is called like play with Steam friends, something. It's only on Steam at the moment. And they've said they plans for the future. Yeah, we'd love to go on console, blah, 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 but they were like, we will never put in a play with randos mode because you have to talk to people to play this game, and nobody wants to do that with freaks on video games.
Sure.
So now the barrier there, of course, being that like you have to have like a bud who will like play this with you, and the trouble with that is always, will you buy this game? Like, trust me, it's really good. Now, what they've done quite well is this game is also £7, so and it launched with a discount, so I bought it for £4. This is an incredibly cheap video game. It's super fun. It's very wacky. It's also one of those games that's like full of mysteries and weirdness, and you basically just climb up, scaling up this mountain. There's lots of, you find all these weird items. You don't know what they do. Your characters can get poisoned. There's creatures up in the mountain that they don't tell you about ahead of time. It's very, very fun. Good multiplayer crap. I hope it does come to other systems. And more people can play it because it's very, very fun. It's good old fashioned multiplayer hijinks. So yeah, thumbs up on Peak, thumbs up on Rematch. Two fun multiplayer games. And then one last thing that I just played about a half hour of before I came on here. Bionic Bay is I would describe it, Paul, as maybe a little bit of an Inside-like.
Okay.
If that's a frame of reference for people. It's a 2D kind of sci-fi, kind of creepy vibes platformer. With very little dialogue, so it's got a sci-fi setting, but it's not doing lore, no cutscenes. You start a new game and you just start playing it, and it's kind of puzzle based, and it's got a lot of like physicsy kind of platforming. It's very interesting. I'm really liking it. It's very, very creative in the way Inside is. I won't say too much more because it kind of seems like one of those games where every level there's like a new like thing. Do you know what I mean? It's got like a new like gimmick.
Yeah.
That I don't really want to spoil, but very cool. Like £15, I think, and I think that's on consoles as well. So Bionic Bay, I'm very early, but thumbs up on that one.
Nice.
As well. So I played a lot this week. I played a lot of games. I think games have been very good this year, and in summer in particular, there's just like a shit ton out at the moment. Still also always playing Claire Obscure, just kind of constantly chipping away at that. Great.
Well, I mean, the Death Stranding 2 reviews came out today, and ooh, baby, give me a bit of that, please.
Looking good, yeah. Did you play the first one? You did, didn't you?
I did. I loved the first one.
You loved it, yeah. Okay, you must be getting excited, so...
I'm excited. I probably won't be playing it for a little while, given that I don't have a PlayStation. I'm going to lend one. But yes, very much looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot that was a PlayStation thing.
It's a PS5 exclusive. I'll get around to it. But yeah, looks good. So I was playing a bit of Oblivion, like I said. I was playing the DLC. Playing a bit of Shivering Isles, doing some quests. And in the middle of one of the quests, yet another hard crash to the menu. And I said, you know what? I put about 100 hours into this. I think that's probably enough. If I want to come back later to the DLC, maybe I will. I won't.
No.
I already beat this DLC when it originally came out, so I don't feel like missing out necessarily. So I hit the old uninstall all on Oblivion. Big old salute. Salute so hard that my hand goes slightly curved. That's how hard I'm saluting. Thank you for your service, Oblivion, but I've had my fill. And after weeks and weeks of saying, I'm going to play Indiana Jones next, I've been playing Celeste instead.
Oh, what a game.
Which I had a totally wrong idea in my head what this game was going to be. So I thought Celeste was going to be one of these rock hard platformers like a Super Meat Boy
or yeah.
That I was just going to be totally turned off, and do I want to play a really frustrating, like ultra difficult? I mean, really, it isn't. It is difficult, but the difficulty is off balanced, or no, made somewhat more tolerable by the fact that when you die, you like respawn within 1 second. And so you're just attacking these levels over and over again. So I am on the last section of the last level. I'm about to roll.
Oh, wow.
I just started playing on Saturday, and I'm almost finished it in like, I want to say I've been playing it for about 5.5 hours. No, I will say I haven't been putting a ton of time into collecting the strawberries or the the various bits involved. Every now and then I'll kind of, if one looks interesting enough, I'll do it. But I would just kind of trying to get to the end of the game and thoroughly enjoying. I mean, I see absolutely and understand all the praise, all the 10 out of 10 praise. I would probably go 10 out of 10 myself. I think it's a really, really well designed 2D platformer. I know I'm really late to the party, so it's kind of redundant for me to say, hey guys,
but still,
if you're itching for a good 2D platformer, let me tell you about this new game, Celeste,
with a great soundtrack.
A great soundtrack, great story, great animation, great. Oh my god!
I mean, if you are late to it, though, I mean, good news, listen. I mean, that game is always like 2 months as well. It's like
it's on all platforms.
It's on everything. Yeah.
Cheap as dirt. I thought it would. I mean, I haven't finished. I'm probably like 20 minutes from beating it. It's and let me tell you, the boss fight at the end of chapter 6, one of the best boss fights I've ever played.
Yeah.
Absolutely adore it. I mean, the kind of thing where I was like, oh, I hope this boss fight just goes on for half an hour because it's so much fun. Like I'm just having so much fun playing this. Please don't end. Keep going. Another screen. More. That's kind of game Celeste is. I mean, it's so simple, and yet like there's only 2 controls, right? Well, there's 3. Jump, and then you have like a mid-air dash.
Yeah,
almost like a double jump, and then like grab, so you can grab on the walls, jump on the walls. That's all. All the other mechanics are like external, so they're in the level design. But for your character, super simple. It's like you have the control stick to move, left trigger to grab, and then your 2 buttons, jump and mid-air dash. That's all the controls in the game. It's super, super simple. And all the cleverness and all the ingenuity comes through the level design, which is, out of this world. But I mean, you're climbing a mountain. You're a girl climbing a mountain. That's the story of the game, and it's only 7 chapters long. There's further chapters if you want to collect all the collectibles in the game. Now that's where you're airing into rock hard, basically impossible territory. That's why I'm not so interested in that. But
yeah, when you were saying earlier about the difficulty, I was like, they do a good, like, it's hard enough, the core. It's just hard enough to keep you challenged. They very cleverly, all the insane bullshit is optional, and it is insane. I mean, it is all that stuff is ludicrous. Some of those levels, they look like, if you ever see those clips online of people playing like the custom Mario levels people make, where they basically don't touch the ground and they're dashing and bouncing off of enemies, and it's mental. It's absolutely mental.
I mean, that's kind of the difficulty of Celeste, right? Is it's akin to those secret world levels of Mario World, except the check marking is also very generous.
Yes.
So you might be dying every 5 seconds, but once you get basically past the one screen you're looking at, once you get to the right of that screen, it'll mark that you got that far, and then if you die, you'll again. You don't have to do that previous screen again. You don't get kicked back to the start of the level. Your progress is tracked as you go through it. So it's very, very fair. It is difficult like those Mario World levels, but it's very fair also. It's like doing the Mario World levels on Switch with the rewind, I guess. It's the closest you can say.
Yeah.
Really, love it. Absolutely adore it. Amazing.
Yeah, what that's a tremendous game to after all these years to have there ready for you. Love Celeste. Yeah. And that's going to do it for this week's show. Big show, lots to do, lots of guffs on this year broadcast. Thank you very much for listening, pals.
Oh, hang on, we got one more feature. Why does Ultimate Warrior look like Eddie Kingston's after hitting him with a hurricane?
He's just been revived from the dead.
It looks like he's about to go again. My God. Excellent stuff. Listeners, I also like that the listeners are going to look at that, and it's going to be a couple of hours before they'll get what the significance of that is. But excellent stuff. All right, listeners, thank you very much for sticking with us. ChairShotPodcast.com is where you can go to check out the Fantasy League in real time. Also, you can pop us an email as well if you'd like to reach out. We'll be back next week with more fun and games. In the meantime, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Joe.
Goodbye. Adios.
And it's goodbye from Paul.
Adios, amigos.